So,
What? And here's Crashy.
uh,
Hey, we're back, people. We got a good one today. This is actually just another part of the Flare update. We released the other one a little bit late. That's probably my fault. And this one is much closer to real time, so we got a little different information. Real quick, the flare price is around 30 cents. Came back down to earth. Crash, what's going on, man? You with us?
yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. I'm excited for this Flare project to get its legs and get running here.
Yeah, it's gonna take a little time, but should be good. So, all right, so let's get back to the latest update. This is from the Flare team, but it's pretty much from what's his name? Do you remember his name, Crash?
No.
I knew you wouldn't. Hugo Filion actually just came back to
Oh,
me.
you go.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
is he? So he's the head of the project who's not listed on their team right now. But no, there he is. Yeah, their team's expanding nicely though, and they have some different people, different devs and stuff talking on there.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this thing could be real, people. I don't know. Right now, it's real cheap, but again, that's the IOU, so it really doesn't mean anything. This thing could come out at a penny easy, Crash.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so we've been kind of waiting from Hugo to kind of say what's going on. It basically is being initiated on the 4th. Here's the latest blog post. We'll just read through that. And that'll kind of explain some stuff. So, these are the details of the launch. The Flare network audit performed by Trail of Bits is complete and passed with no vulnerabilities. According to the Trail of Bits, the audit did not uncover any significant flaws or defects that could impact the confidentiality, integrity, or availability of the Flare node or the network at large. With this milestone, Flare's mainnet genesis will occur on or shortly after July 11th, subsequent to a final audit of the token distribution smart contract code taking place the week of July 4th. So they basically audit a bunch of codes starting the 4th. If that goes well, then it goes into the Genesis on July 11th, which is starting the network. But then it
Mm-hmm.
goes into what's called observation mode. So, and you remember that one with Songbird Crash? That one went pretty smooth with Songbird.
Yeah.
Was that a 2 month one too? I
I
don't.
don't remember.
I don't either. It seemed like it
That was
was.
so long ago.
I know. A year ago. Actually, September 9th, it'll be a year. So, Flare was, and that's when Flare was supposed to come out that summer. So, it's a little over a year late, but it's a big deal, these bridges. So, we'll
Yeah.
see. So, the way the observation mode works, the network will launch in observation mode, quote unquote, during which time it'll be tested and become fully decentralized. At Genesis, the Flare Foundation will operate all network validators. Next, FTSOs from Songbird, as well as new FTSOs, will be able to join Flare and start submitting FTSO data. Validation power will thus pass from the Flare Foundation FTSO providers that operate validators. Upon Upon completion of the observation mode, FTSO data providers will validate the network and will earn validation rewards. So that's once the observation mode is done.
Do you know anybody that's running nodes for that?
Yeah, all the FTSOs. That's what they're talking about with FTSO IT. They're all listed. We can take a look at that. I'll show you some of them. So those will come on from Songbird and double on Flare because they're kind of tested and proven. And then I think they'll bring new ones onto Flare too. I heard that they want to get up to like 1,000 maybe instead of 100.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. Okay, so observation mode will last for a minimum of 8 weeks until the point at which sufficient validation power is passed to the external validators, such that the Flare Foundation is no longer in control of the network, i.e., no more than 33% of the validation power is controlled by Flare. During observation mode, inflation and rewards shall be zero in order not to prejudice participants. Furthermore, the network state may be rolled back at any time. So if there's a problem, this is the one time you can really restart a decentralized network. You hear about all these restarts, like with Solana.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be able to restart a blockchain, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of fishy when you hear that. But during this observation mode, during the rollout, they can start completely over, scrap the thing. Who knows what could come up? It went off smooth with Songbird, but that doesn't mean it's gonna with this one. Okay, at Genesis, all initial token balances will be created. So on the 11th, they create the tokens, but we don't get them. The Flare Foundation will hold all tokens that are attributable to that Flare-related entities and team, to all Flare-related entities and team. These tokens will be distributed at the public token distribution event below. The only token transaction during this time will be made for operational purposes, including funding and delegating to FTSOs and for system testing purposes. Each Flare address will be published. So, complete transparency with the addresses. Okay, so here's the public distribution event and further distributions. So, upon exiting observation mode, the initial token distribution of 15% will take place. It is at this point that self-custody token recipients will be able to access and use their tokens, and that exchanges can distribute the tokens to their users.
So is this the DFLR?
No, this will be the Spark token, the actual FLR.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the Spark token once it comes out of observation mode. So it looks like that's going to be September-ish sometime, 8 weeks out.
Oh, yeah.
When it actually, you get your tokens and you can dump them or delegate them.
8 weeks or 8 months?
8 weeks, hopefully. That's a tricky period, though. Who knows?
All right.
People are skeptical, and I don't blame them a bit, but I do see how it can take a long time, and we cannot screw this up.
Yeah, I know. I invested a lot of money into XRP to get more Flare tokens, and it's been 2.5 years. 2 years.
Probably since you did that, yeah, a couple years for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the snapshot was December 21st, I think, must have been 20.
And they're expecting that same thing. You know how once Flare comes, it's live, and launches. 1 month later they're supposed to do a distribution of the DAO Flare token. It's
The
DFLR. And 1 month later, and then but they expect a lot of people to dump a lot of money into the Flare token because there's going to be a snapshot of that to get the DFLR.
And who's doing the DFLR? Is that's
Flare Finance?
It is. Okay.
Yeah. And they're going to use the DFLR token it's not going to have any value. You're just going to be able to swap it for other tokens on the Flare network, on the Flare Finance.
But it'll have value, right? Because
Well, it
otherwise,
will, but it's not going to be listed where you can exchange it, on exchanges or anything. It's all, they're basically giving out 40 million of these tokens
okay.
uh, to as a snapshot to people who own the Flare, the Spark token.
Okay. And then what are you doing with it?
Well, you can use it anywhere on the Flare Finance
Okay.
network, which includes
Okay.
swaps and
Okay.
lending and other stuff.
40 million, and that must be, so that's going to be a fairly highly valued token.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
Because it's a small, okay, that's why people are, that, yeah,
Yeah, but
I
there's
totally
good,
forgot about that. Yeah.
yeah, there's good indication that the the Spark token is going to get bought up like crazy before this airdrop or before this snapshot, so
Yeah.
people can get the DFLR tokens.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be, man, this fall is going to be interesting stuff in crypto. There is so much going on.
Mm-hmm.
And the world continues to collapse and need crypto for liquidity. So,
Yeah.
okay, so where are we at here? The remaining distribution will start subsequent to a governance vote mentioned in the FLO2 in the Flare rollout document on how to conduct the distribution. The governance proposal will be published on or before the mainnet genesis. The vote will take place on Flare at the earlier event, where at least 75% of the initial distribution is capable of voting, or 6 months from the public token distribution have elapsed. So if nothing happens by 6 months, then they'll do that. In the case where tokens have gone to exchanges, this means that the exchanges will have distribution token and made it possible, or will have distributed the token and made it possible for users to withdraw them. Inflation will commence at observation mode completion and will be set at 10% per annum, calculated monthly on the total unlocked supply. The governance vote will then dictate future inflation. Which I think that sentence is really telling and interesting, and we'll see what people do, if they keep it at 10%. I would think it would come down from there.
Yeah.
But
But I guess that gives them the option if, as the network grows, there may be a need to increase the amount of tokens.
right. Yeah, which it could be. I mean, there's a reason that there is so much sloshing around. It's because in finance, it's needed. When you
Yeah.
look at the bond market or,
Mm-hmm.
derivatives or whatever. So,
Yeah, particularly if the token is not divisible like Bitcoin is by a million, if it's a set price per token, if it
right,
gets too high, it becomes prohibitive to use in smaller scales.
right. Yeah, huh. Yeah, so we got Edy Flare coming out. Let's see. Let's take a look at those FTSOs real quick. Because that's kind of interesting. So that one is,
That's the validators, right?
yes, those are the validators. And right now, here's,
Flare metric.
so this is flaremetrics.io. And this will kind of tell you what the Songbird validators are, what they're paying. Close down some of these tabs here. Okay, so here's the FTSO providers. And these move around, but the top ones like Alpha Oracle, FTSO.it, FTSO Edy, those have been around the top the whole time.
Yeah.
So this vote power is important. The fee they charge is important. Usually it's around 20%. This one's a little bit newer, the Evolve FTSO. But here's the reward rate that you're getting.
Is that an annual 0.3?
No, it's actually a monthly, but it goes, or I'm sorry, weekly. It changes every week, but then it goes down as the week moves along. So it started out probably close to 1.
Yeah, it's very, there's so many factors involved. It's hard to comprehend what your actual real return is on these things.
It is, and that's why, that's the real reason I've realized that DeFi is not going to be used by the masses. It's just incredibly complicated. Once you get into it and you understand it, and of course we're more financially minded, so we can figure it out. But can you imagine most people doing this? They're just not going to do it.
No, they'd be completely lost.
Yeah. So it is going to be the big institutional players and people like us that want to get involved. You can get involved. You just have to learn. And that's what you guys should be doing.
There will be projects that come out that are going to make it very simple.
Right. They'll simplify them, but the big
If
players...
there's a demand for it and a market for it, there'll be a product for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. But I just think this is the time where they're not really going to close out the public to institutional. I think you're going to be able to do it. But what's going to be prohibitive is it's just complicated and you have to learn. The learning curve,
Yeah.
So here's all the FTSOs, and they are up to... I don't think they're to 100 yet. They're up to 81.
It's interesting that there's unknown regions.
Yeah, and they're not even... Some of these aren't really even functioning. Really, they're not. You look at the voting power, and it's 0.31%, and are they even? It's some of these. I think they're trying to get going on and stuff. But anyways, this I have heard they're gonna try and get up to 1,000. So, and of course, the more there are, this is your decentralization. This is how it's not controlled by the company of Flare or Hugo and his team. It's this is a process we're going through to actually be decentralized, and not controlled by one entity. So I don't know. Interesting stuff, people. That's kind of your update. That's real time. So now we're just looking for hiccups and snafus. If stuff goes smoothly, that's kind of the time schedule. If it doesn't go smoothly, it could be anything. There could be year delays. It could not even get off the ground. You just don't know.
Yeah, Eddie, I got a question. It says FTSO prices there, and it's got XRP and Litecoin and Stellar and Doge.
Right.
Are all these other coins, ADA, Algo, Bitcoin Cash, are these also all going to be part of this?
No. Well, they might be, yeah. They might be, but now this is updated 3 minutes ago. Okay, I was thinking months. I'm like, wow, that's kind of stale. But this is what these FTSO providers are doing, are providing these prices. So that's where they're going out and getting data for these prices for all the stuff that you're going to do in DeFi. That's what this is about. And you're getting a cut.
So they're kind of like a chain link, but a consortium of a decentralized chain link.
Kind of, and it's for specific things. Like these are the prices that are going to be involved with the DeFi stuff that they're providing. You know what I mean?
And what does the FTSO stand for?
Flare Time Series Oracle.
Okay, so it's an oracle, yeah, like Chainlink.
Right. But I think I want to say Chainlink is involved somewhere. I know they are with the XRPL sometimes. They might even be involved in some of this stuff, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Good
So
info.
yeah, that's where that is at. So
Look
people,
at the exchange. I was interested in the exchanges up at the top and how many exchanges are involved. Let's go top of the page.
of this one,
Yeah,
where are you seeing this?
all at the top. Well, I don't know. You just had it up there a minute ago. Go back to FlareNet. You were just showing it a minute ago.
Oh, Flare this? Oh,
Right there. Yeah,
exchanges.
exchange.
Okay.
Yeah.
These are the exchanges that are going to hold your Spark token and not release it to you if you went this way.
Yeah.
There's a
There's a lot
lot.
of them.
Yeah, this is really supposedly this is going to be the biggest airdrop in the history of crypto because of it's going out to like 100 exchanges. And that's
Yeah.
it's never happened before on any airdrop ever.
Yeah. How they got all these exchanges on board before they even launched.
It's I'm telling you, it tells you something because
Uh-huh.
this is the real deal. If they're really another thing that's interesting is on the blog. This is kind of telling. I noticed. Where is it? Here it is. Flare receives Algorand Foundation Super Grant to develop Bitcoin Bridge. Flare's been awarded a 7-figure grant to develop a Bitcoin bridge into the Algorand ecosystem. So,
Hmm.
Algorand does have deep pockets. I mean, they are deeply funded. But man, it's like they're doing something that no one else has ever done. And the way that they're securing these bridges, because they are secured and insured. And
Hmm.
you got to get so deep into the tech and really study and figure it out. And I haven't done that enough for sure. But it's there, and it does feel like this is really unique and valuable. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll know once it comes out, you know.
Yeah.
So that's your Flare update, people. Hit the like and subscribe on your way out, and drop a comment if you have questions or you liked it or you hated it or anything. And we'll talk to you guys real soon.
Adios, everybody.
All right, Crash. Can it get
Hey,
any more complicated?
huh?
Can it get any more complicated?
I don't know. Yeah, I can. But I got a question for you. When you've been talking, you said you've been doing you or your friends have been doing some stuff on the Songbird network.
Yeah.
Are you? Is that all? Are you doing that on Bifrost or what platform are you doing that on?
Yeah, Bifrost and
I can't even do anything on Bifrost. I tried to do. I tried to. I can't even claim my rewards. It keeps failing.
have you not done it for a while?
No, I've done it for a long time. I did it,
When's the last time you did it?
I don't know, a week ago.
Mm.
Have you used Bifrost today? Maybe they're having a problem.
Not today, but this isn't the first time I've heard this. You might want to open a ticket or reload it. You could
Yeah,
pro-
and the other thing is it pisses me off because all of a sudden, uh, my balance from my it's connected to my Exodus wallet somehow.
Is that on the Ethereum blockchain?
Exodus?
Well, no, when you connect to the wallet, it should say usually what chain and it'll give you a choice of Ethereum or Songbird, and you need to make sure it's on Songbird.
I've
That might
never
have to
seen.
do with the other thing too.
I've never seen. Okay, so you got.